Today is the day.
Today's the day we start getting some tiles down. So, sorry, we've got the Jenny on because the electrics aren't, well, it's sunny today, but we've had a few cloudy days, so the generator's on.
Just to bring you up to speed, we had our first blackout. We lost all the electric to the house. It was around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and yeah, we had a night without no electric whatsoever. So somebody thought it was a good idea for us to get a generator. We went and bought a new generator yesterday, so that's what the big humming noise is in the background. But
it
yeah,
needs to be on for an hour or so, and then the sun should do the rest once it comes over the buildings behind us. So yeah, today's the day where we start the tiling. This is actually something that I know what I'm doing. I've done quite a lot of tiling, not only in my own properties, but I've earned money doing it as well. I wouldn't say I'm a professional, but because I've never been to school to learn anything, I'm self-taught. But because we lived in Tenerife, that everything was tiled. There's no such thing as carpets over there. So start the day off by getting all the tools ready. I've got a good quality disc, cutting disc on here. The 10 quid ones don't cut it, especially with porcelain tiles, so you buy a good quality one there. The mixer's ready. Got my
adhesive?
Tile adhesive, that's the one. And then if you follow me indoors quickly, loads more tile adhesive there. These are the tiles that we're going to be putting down on the floor, and we've got the wall ones there. They're a concrete type look, and we think that they're going to look really nice. So coming into the bathroom, I like using, there's loads of different sizes of these. After the first one that I put down, I'll figure out which is the size that I think that we're going to need, because the bathroom tiles are quite thin. They're about 7mm. We still don't know what tiles we're going to put through the house. So if we buy a thicker tile, you're going to want a couple of millimeters just in case, if that makes sense. Because if we buy 10mm tiles for the house, then it's not going to be level. There's going to be a little step coming into this room. It's only minuscule, but I prefer it all to be flat. I like using, once I've cut the tiles, these little grinding discs. These are actually made by Ruby, which is a big company here in Spain. And they'll just leave the edges nice and not sharp. Polishing them up quickly, just on the edges very quickly. And I also use a leveling system. So you buy these little clips, they cost nothing. They're about 2 or 3 cents each when you buy them by the big box. And obviously we've got to tile the whole house, so might as well buy a big box at that. And now what these do, that was clever. These sit underneath the tile, on both tiles. So one tile will be here, one tile will be here, and then this goes in here, and what it actually does is it pressurizes the tiles to be the same level. So that's obviously level on the bottom, and then that will keep it into place, and yeah, it keeps it nice and level. And they're easy to knock off, because when you do cut them, when you want to take them off, you just hit them and they break. So they're quite good. And yeah, it's just a case of starting to measure out. So there's a few different ways that I like to start tiling. From down here, let me just grab a tile to show you. Obviously start at a doorway, and what you do is you draw a line halfway along the reveal of the door, if that's what that's called. So the door would sit here. This would start halfway. You don't want to start it inside the door too far, because otherwise your next tiles, you'll see them. So I start them halfway, like that, roughly. Now, you can start with a full tile, or if you wanted to, depending on the way that the room lays out, you can start with half tile. In here, for wastage of tiles, I should really start halfway. Because of the width of the tile, I can get 2 cuts out. But aesthetically, I don't think it looks the best. I think you should walk into a room and there should be a full tile, and then everything works out from there. But we are gonna have a bit of wastage, but at the end of the day, if you lose 40, 50 euros on tiles, 4 or 5 square meters, it shouldn't be that much, but it is what it is. Generally, you won't lose that much on a small bathroom, especially with lots of cuts like we have in here, in the shower, around the bath. All the cuts should be used up. So yeah, we're gonna start with a full tile in the middle and work my way back. I like to get all of my main tiles in and then come back the next day once it's dry and start doing the cuts. If there's any big cuts that I can do, I'll get them in. But hopefully the vast majority of this floor should be done today, unless we find something that's going to go wrong. Yeah, sorry about the long-winded explanation, but yeah, let's get to it.
This is what's got on the floor. It's ivory matte colour, and the tile that we've gone for the wall, it's called taupe. It's like a tan, earthy colour. So these are going two up on the wall, and then the floors we're doing an ivory matte. So Jake's showing me, well, Jake's asking me how I want the tiles laid, and I didn't know this was
Yeah.
a question.
There's so many different types of ways that you can lay them out. That pattern there is third bond, so it's a third of the tile.
Which I quite like.
Then you have your traditional bond, which would be just straight, which is how the walls are going to be in the bathroom, I think. I'm not 100% sure yet. Then you can have what they call brick bond, so that they go halfway. Like your bricks are on your walls at home, on your outside of your house. So that's brick bond. Then you can have diagonal, herringbone. Herringbone wouldn't suit these type of tiles because they're too big. I'd like to do herringbone somewhere in the house because I really, really like the herringbone pattern.
So I like the fades like this. Will that look weird on the walls?
No, because the walls, we've only got tiles going around the bath,
yeah,
and in the shower and up the back.
Okay, so it doesn't look bizarre.
No, because when these go sideways, your new tiles, the wall tiles, are going to sit up against these ones something like that.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So we'll go with thirds.
Thirds.
Decision made.
Oh.
No going back. Lovely. See what that's like. I think it might be a bit thin. Right, so what I'm doing here is called back buttering. That way you're getting 100% adherence from this tile to the floor. If you don't do that, you'll get air bubbles that you can see from the scratch lines. You want air bubbles, but you do want also the tile to be 70 to 100% adhered to the floor. So once I've got this on the floor, the first one, I'll lift it back up before I put my self-leveling clips in, and I will double check that I've got good adherence to the floor.
First one's in.
Little wibble wobble, mark up my lines, they're all good. Before I level it off, just going to double check. Yeah, that's pretty well stuck. Actually, if you look, the difference is that bit's stuck, that bit isn't properly stuck, which means that I'm going to have to go up a trowel size just to make sure that everything is correctly stuck. So scrape this one off and go up a trowel size with the notches. Just because when we laid the floor, it's pretty good, but it's not perfect, which I said before. So if I go up a size, it should clear all that issue. So let's scrape all this off and start again. Very big, important part about tiling is a bucket of water and a sponge, because this tile adhesive is very sticky, and once it dries, it can be a huge pain to get off stuff. So we'll try this one. I think this one is, that's 8mm. Centre. Problem solved. So, Two on each side. Perfetto.
Oh, there's trouble.
Then you've got this trusty little tool
Ah, yes, now I remember.
in there. You don't want to go too far because they'll snap. You can do them tight by hand, but this just helps. And that just keeps that about level. Right, where was I? Let's get some clips in. These tiles are hard.
This is going to be fun.
Eh?
This is going to be fun. Go for you.
Hmm?
And go for you.
See? Oh my goodness. Can you try and cut this? You've got to look underneath. Get that halfway through that line there. So if you have to move this over.
Push down?
Yeah, push down. Push forwards. Good enough. You squab it again. Then what you do is you click that up to there and push down. That's it. Lift that up. Slide your tile out. Good?
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. Perfection.
Moments of truth.
She's in like a dream. Not quite.
What?
No. Needs that corner taking off.
Take 2 of Jake ruining my reputation.
And she's in now.
Another last cut of the day.
Hey! And does the last cut of the day go in? That is the question.
Think positive. So here's where we got to. I'm going to call it a day here. Wait for the floor to dry and then we'll continue on tomorrow with all the smaller cuts. Happy?
Yeah, not bad. Didn't start till 12. We started late. It's now 5 o'clock. So half day. Time for a shower, bit of dinner, chill out. Start again in the morning.
See you tomorrow.
Bye bye.
As you can see, it's a bit of a grey day here, so we've got the generator running.
So in a section like this, for efficiency, what I do is I go along and measure every single tile, write it down on the corners that I want to. Then I'll come back, I'll cut every tile. Say for instance this end one, I cut it to length, but I can't cut it to width until I've got that tile in. I'll do that afterwards. But I do like to get all of my tiles cut first, and then when I get down on my knees, because they aren't the best, they do start hurting, especially after a day yesterday. You saw the weird angles that I was having to get into, or make my body curve into, should I say, so that I can get in. So yeah, your back and your knees do start hurting. So once I'm on the floor, I can get as many laid as possible. If I need to make any tweaks, it is what it is. Hopefully I can get all of this sorted in this morning. I've also, in the shower, I've got that piece just there. That's going to go across, and then I'm going to start working my way into the shower. I won't be able to get all the way into the shower because of my arms aren't that long. Well, in the picture they look quite long then, didn't they? So I'll probably get a couple of layers in there, and then tomorrow I can continue with that. So that's another one cut. So, not much has gone to plan this morning. I've had nightmares with a few cuts. The grinder just seems to be snappy. Well, it's not the grinder. What it was I didn't have a flat area to put the tiles on. I thought it was flat, but it was bowed. So I had a couple of tiles snapped because of that as I was cutting them. Then I went and got something that was flat, put that on there, and because we were running off the generator, I don't think the grinder was running at full capacity, so it was chipping. Turned the generator off. I managed to get one cut that was becoming quite difficult, which is this one just down here in the corner. This cut here kept snapping. And then I finally managed to get it cut well, and as I was carrying it, it snapped again. So I have got a decent cut that can go in there. I'm going to see if I can just put the joint together. If it's too visible, then I won't go with that. I have managed to get a few areas in the shower, like I said, and now I'm just going to continue around this area. But yeah, it's halfway through the day, and I haven't really got very far. That's all that I've done. But all the cuts are ready for here, so I'm going to crack on with that. So this is the tile that I've cut 5 times. So that was 5 wasted tiles. The last one, the break isn't too bad. It's not chipped that much, so I'm going to try and get it in and push it together, and hopefully it won't be that noticeable, but I can always fix it in the future with a little bit of grout. Section done. Right, let's move over there now. Yes. Only 2 more tiles to go. 2 more tiles to go. Yes. Right, last one. Olé! Floor.
Done! Does it work?
No, it certainly doesn't work. Bit of hard graft, bit of frustration today with my grinding table setup not being flat, but I managed to find a piece of wood that was. So from there on it went a little bit easier, and yeah.
You've done a fantastic job. I'm very proud of you.
I am very, very happy about the way that you chose to put the floor in the end.
In the freeze?
In thirds, yeah. It looks really, really good. And the choice of tile was really good as well.
I was a little bit worried about the choice of tile, because I'm not a fan of grey anymore. I used to be into my greys, but I wanted to go a bit more neutral, and I was a little bit worried that this ivory was looking a bit grey, but no, it looks good. I'm happy with the choice as well.
So it's more of a cream colour, isn't it? It's good.
Yeah. So yeah, we're really happy with how it's went. Very proud of you. You've done a fantastic job.
I'm just happy that I've been doing something that I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I was asking you if you like doing this, and you do, because you get to see like an end result, and we've not really, there's not been lots of stuff that we've done where you can actually see it, because everything's underground behind walls. So yeah, so it's nice to see the room taking shape. So we're going to finish the video there.
Thanks very, very, very much for watching.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye bye.
See you next time.